Okay. The judge in the Fani Willis case has decided that District Attorney Fani Willis can continue to prosecute the election interference case as long as she throws her former boyfriend, Nathan Wade, off the team. Now, I said before, I can't believe that Fani Willis, first of all, the speech she made at that church was just like, what the fuck are you doing, Madam Prosecutor or District Attorney? Why are you making statements like this when you have a case against this beast, Donald Trump, and his predatory lawyers who are going to seize on everything, probably up to and including your shoe size, to try to get you disqualified? But, you know, what do I know? Very quickly, because I'm sure you've heard about this all day, the allegations were that Trump and his co-defendants, the allegations of a relationship between Willis and Wade, popped up after one of the defendants, along with Trump, one of the RICO defendants, some little low-level prick who said, hey, wait a minute, they were dating. As if that had anything to do with the criminality of this orange beast. So Trump and the other people who tried to overthrow the government of the United States wanted the judge to disqualify Willis from the case or throw out the charges because of what they swore was a conflict of interest. Oh, horseshit. Trump and 18 others were indicted last summer on state charges stemming from the alleged efforts to overthrow the former president's 22 electoral defeat. Blah, 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 blah. Now, the decision means, bottom line, Fani Willis can remain on the election interference case, but the judge's ruling, for her personally especially, was still damaging. The Christian white male demon fascists here in the Georgia General Assembly have already written laws to give them the power to remove any prosecutor from any case in the state of Georgia that they feel has overstepped the bounds of Christian fascist propriety. What else could it be? There also is a move now to have Fani Willis disbarred. There's all kinds of shit going on behind the scenes that will probably bubble to the surface over the next several months. But anyway, the judge ruled that Fani Willis can stay on the case, the election interference racketeering case. And remember, let me digress a moment. Remember when she was on the stand, I guess you saw this. I had to watch, or chose to watch, almost all of the evidentiary hearing that was brought by these filthy pigs that operate around the filthy bastard Donald Trump. And when Fani Willis kind of lost her shit on the stand and just said, you know, y'all are trying to put me on trial. I'm not on trial. You know, Donald Trump and these son of a bitches in front of all these lawyers here, they represent people who are on trial. I'm not on trial. They tried to overthrow the government. Now, I'm expanding and paraphrasing everything she said. But that's essentially what the point she was making. What the fuck are you doing trying to impugn me? Because my boyfriend, temporary boyfriend, worked for a while. BFD, you bastards. But one charge that Fani Willis made, and she probably should not have made it, was one of the things she said in her speech to the church congregation. And that is when she brought up the fact that Wade, her boyfriend, was a black man, and the other two people who she hired to prosecute this case were white, and they were left alone. Well, okay, but that was before, right, Miss District Attorney? It was before everybody knew about your personal business. And that's another thing. You know, these Trump scum, you know, they represent these lawyers. And they are scum. I don't give a shit. You know, okay, everybody's entitled to the best defense. These people know goddamn good and well. I don't know Steve Sato, the lead defense counsel in this particular case, but I know people who know him very closely. And I've had conversations with them about Steve Sato. And, you know, my question was, why in the hell is this guy putting up such a spirited defense for this criminal son of a bitch who tried to overthrow the government. And Steve Sadow would be one of the first ones to be put in a detention camp if the Trump bastard ever got reelected. And the answer that comes back to me is some vague, well, everybody's entitled to the best defense. Even when it's something like this, well, okay. But this is a point I've made several times over the past months. And that is that Trump is using the intricacies of democracy to destroy democracy. He's using the judicial system. He's using rules, arcane rules, some of them, buried in the law books in order to destroy the rule of law and replace it with a dictatorship. And this is a part that just makes me want to scream, go running into the woods, my hair on fire, shrieking and shouting until all the birds and squirrels and bunny rabbits flee. Malloy's in the woods. His hair's on fire. Run! Well, a former U.S. attorney told CNN that Fani Willis emerges from the ruling potentially facing headwinds because, you know, the judge in this, Scott McAfee, is going to be on the case. She has to present the case against this orange filth and his scum-sucking attorneys and all these other defendants. She's got to prosecute the case in front of the judge who has listened to all this tawdry goddamn testimony about sexual intercourse. Oh, didn't these white devils just love doing it, huh? We got a black man on the stand. We got a black woman on the stand. Let's talk about penetration. Let's talk about sexual intercourse. Oh, my God, my God, my God. And so they did. You know, it got to the point for me when I was watching this hearing. And I kept thinking, you know, you sons of bitches who are trying to spring this traitorous bastard Donald Trump and his co-defendants, the ones that happened, 4 of them already pled guilty, but you're trying to spring him. And in order to do that, you're attacking and exposing for all the world a private affair. And call it what you want. I don't care if it was pure sex, pure love, pure affection, sport fucking. I don't care what it was. But to bring that out is a clear indication that Trump's legal team, all of these slime, will stop at nothing. They will stop at nothing to defend somebody who tried to destroy this country. And to me, that is unconscionable. It's unforgivable. And you talk about wanting to disbar somebody? Go after these fucking lawyers who are trying to justify Trump's treasonous behavior. The judge did rule that 6 charges, Judge McAfee yesterday, he ruled that 6 charges, 3 against Trump, 3 against these other pigs, would be dismissed because of the charges that Fani Willis brought against them for violating or trying to get someone else to violate their oath of office. That there wasn't enough proof. A. B. Fani Willis's indictment regarding that issue was not clear enough. So Trump constantly wins on these little goddamn issues. Well, you didn't cross your T's and dot your I's, so therefore, you know, it can go back to the grand jury. You can try again over the next 6-8 months when this filthy pig might be president again and everything stops. Or you can just drop those parts of your indictment. I hate to say this because I truly do believe in the rule of law, that we are a nation of laws and not of men and women, that without the legal structure of how we conduct ourselves within the framework of a representative government and society and multiracial, multi-ethnic, multi-religious society, if we don't have rules and laws that are purely civil rules and laws, have nothing to do with these goddamn religions, but everything to do with maintaining order. If we don't have that, then we might as well have nothing. Then it's just anarchy and the big dog wins every fucking time, right? But I'm starting to lose, and I hope it comes back, my faith in our judicial system. Because over the past 8 years, I've seen too much. I've seen how, with enough money, which Donald Trump has access to, the judicial system can be twisted into strange shapes not intended by the framers, not intended by the people who write the civil laws in this country, whether they're federal, state, local, whatever, and how easily in a free society that has in its constitution all sorts of safeguards against improper prosecution, how these laws and rules can be bent, twisted, broken to the advantage of some filthy bastard like Donald Trump. It's really causing me to feel that my faith in the judicial system is being shaken and shaken seriously. This former U.S. attorney that I started to quote a minute ago, the one that said Willis is going to have to continue her trial against these thugs before Judge McAfee, this former U.S. attorney said, quote, the judge's order, while allowing the DA to remain on the case, provided she removes Wade, is in no way an exoneration of the district attorney's conduct. Fani Willis's conduct. This guy went on, quote, no lawyer wants to have a judge find that their sworn statements made in court were unprofessional or not sufficiently credible for the courts to take them at face value. It is through that lens that the judge will view future representations made by the DA. End quote. Yeah. And I said before, I think Fani Willis really, I just said this a minute ago, but I think Fani Willis made some serious errors in judgment. Not legal errors. None of this has to do with the legality of the case, goddammit. It has to do with prosecutory ethics. Well, she was banging one of the other prosecutors. Ooh, well, there you go. Miss Willis, what in God's name, or somebody's name, told you that your behavior with Wade was A, acceptable, B, not going to be discovered, and C, not dragged out in front of everybody in the goddamn country, probably the world. Talk about an error in judgment. Fani Willis is not aware that she has to be as pure as Caesar's wife. She has to walk the straight and narrow in a way that these white defendants have never walked. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. The Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.